All right. We are live. This is the first episode of, I guess, the Uncle Pucker's shit show, football and stuff.
Weekly
We're going to kind of, weekly shit show.
We're figuring out what it is, but
Basically, it's going to be a show that we're going to do one day a week. It's most likely going to be on Tuesdays around like 10 a.m. We're going to do a live stream, and it'll be, we're going to tackle the NFL and basically anything else that we kind of want to talk about. So if you're seeing that the Uncle Puckers are doing a live stream and you want Devils stuff and you're hopping in and you're seeing that we're not really talking Devils, that's why. But we will be back at 4:00 this afternoon with an actual Uncle Pucker show.
It's my third podcast today, boys.
Wow. You're like
this will be tonight will be my third.
You're like a professional podcaster.
Sucks.
It's a hard life, Tony. It's a hard life.
But don't you guys it's funny because I was telling my wife where I did this because she's like, wow, you're really doing a lot of these. And I hate influencers. Like I'm like totally like this influencer sucks. This person, like when they get hit by trucks.
Oh.
But this is a little different, right? We're not influencers. We're the opposite. You don't want to take us as influence.
No, we don't influence anybody. And Stephen, most of us have jobs. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't.
I do. I work enough for all three of us. How about that? But Stephen, if you are just jumping in, this is not your typical Uncle Pucker New Jersey Devil show. So I hope you stick around and add some insight to it. Anybody else that is hopping in. And hey, Stephen, why are you not at work at Monday at 10:30 in the morning? Dick.
Yeah,
what are you, Luke Hughes?
our 21-year-old unemployed defenseman. This is great. I was watching NHL Network. They had the top players 25 and under the last quarter century. I think Luke was number 17 or something. So that was pretty cool. He was in front of Brock Faber, which
that's pretty high.
I was actually, I was listening to what the fuck was it? Spittin' Chicklets this morning?
Yeah.
It was an interview they did this week with oh god damn it, I'll forget the fucking name now. Never mind. I'll come back to this in a second here.
All right.
A little distracted over here in the corner, something going on.
So before we get rolling into stuff Monday, everybody have a good weekend. Everybody happy. Summer's almost over.
Preseason football almost done.
I know. I'm glad preseason is over because it's just a week away now.
Yeah. I did learn something interesting today, boys. Do you know that 30%, it's only 30% of the human population use toilet paper daily?
30%
of the human population use toilet paper daily.
Yeah, I'm not. Once you start to really think about that number, it kind of
Tim's
tracks
got a dirty ass, don't you, Tim?
No. I thought it'd be a little bit higher. I mean, there's just so much indigenous population around the world, and so much poverty.
Days.
In kind of Central Asia, and I mean, I'm not entirely surprised, but it does seem a little low. I don't know. I'm fact checking your number. That's bullshit.
I hear that, and I think,
but
does
that mean
a huge swath of the world that needs toilet paper? We need to get in the toilet paper.
Yeah,
system.
but
all right, I understand they don't have running water, they don't have toilets to flush, they don't have sewer systems or anything in a lot of these places, but maybe we do something with like a degradable kind of toilet paper.
But does that mean 30% use toilet paper and like 20% use like leaves, and then another 10%? Yeah, like it's a pie chart of like 5% actually uses their hands and like 2% just lets it fly, and
right. And then how many are just using bidets or wipes? And
there you go.
In Europe here, every toilet has a bidet. We don't have one here, but like if you go to a hotel here, wherever you stay at, there's a hose next to the thing. It's just it's fucking.
I've heard that bidets are life changing.
I would love to have a fucking bidet. I've never used one, but I just hear miraculous things about it. Just to be able to just be done and not have to. Oh fuck! I got to shower now. This was a 4-alarm fire down here.
Try to time it the right way.
Exactly.
Like, oh god. I yesterday got a little crazy for me. Like
Hosing
my
off.
brother's been building a lot of different things, and I'm like his little shop helper because I don't know how to do any of that shit. Like he built like 2 chaise lounges for our pool, and now he's building a basically like we have a guy that comes and picks up our trash because we don't have like a trash service.
A garbage man?
Yeah, like, but we don't have like a
the
garbage man that pulls.
Right.
Yeah, like, so it's this guy down the street. He's actually like a local pastor, but he comes in his truck, but like he just has like a regular truck. So we're building a like trucks have slots in the bed that you can put wood into. So we're building him like a basically a thing that so he has sides to the thing so he can load it up with more trash because he hits up like 20, 30 houses.
The town you live in Maryland does not have trash collection?
They do. It's just, I mean, not for us because.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is it just because what you have way too much, or you can only you have like just one road
because our driveway is a mile long, and we don't really have a curb. No, I do burn some recycling like cardboard and stuff, but no, this guy comes every week on Wednesdays, throws the trash in his truck. We pay him like $10 a month.
I was just wondering, if you could throw him
it's actually like a really good deal. But we're building him a 2 walls for the bed of his truck so he can take more trash. But all of our tools yesterday basically broke. Like the table saw broke, the planer broke. This routing table broke, so it's just like literally everything that we use fucking broke.
I think Tim, I didn't realize how you really live like on a farm. Like I think when I first started like working with you on this show, like I thought it was a little bit of a joke kind of, but now I'm starting every episode I'm realizing like that this. No,
he's on a farm.
I'm our driveway is a half mile long. I'm looking out the window at soybean fields and. It takes me 6 hours to mow our lawn.
How many acres do you have?
I get 40-ish.
Nice.
Maybe 35 of that is field. Like, okay. I'm about an hour from Bel Air. So Bel Air's like right between the Delaware border and Baltimore. And it basically, if you're coming down 95 towards Baltimore and make a right and go about an hour back roads, or you can go down to Baltimore and then kind of back up towards us. We're in a town called Westminster. It's about a half an hour from Gettysburg in the Pennsylvania border. I cross when we drive up to Pennsylvania. There's a good Chinese place up the street in Pennsylvania, but I cross the Mason-Dixon line, and there are like signs that say Mason-Dixon line, and I've been so curious about this because there's this one house that literally right in their front yard it says Mason-Dixon line. So in half their houses in Pennsylvania and half of it's in Maryland, and I don't get how that works.
I owned a building here in Toms River, and the driveway going into the building and half of the parking lot was in Island Heights, and my building itself was in Toms River. So my property was like that, cut off. So I remember I put a bunch of signs out front, like regular signs in the grass to just let people know when we were first opening. And the township showed up and said I needed permits for all that and all this stuff. I said, why? He's like, because the Toms River. I said, no, Island Heights doesn't need it. I'm like, check your lines. I had it right to the property line of Toms River. They couldn't do anything. I was the only person on 37 that had signs on their front of their house because I wasn't in Toms River.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture right now, just my view.
Welcome, Collect Records. Nice of you guys to hop in. Even though this is not our normal Devil show, we will be doing a normal Devil show at 4:00. But we hope that you guys enjoy what we got going on today.
Yeah, and I hurt myself in my hockey game last night again. I kind of fell on my hip a little funny. I played like the dirtiest team in the league. These guys are the biggest fucking babies. They're like, you guys like are so dirty and you hold sticks and stuff. I'm like, buddy, you got a fucking 4-minute penalty for elbowing me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
Crybabies. But there are a bunch of it's funny, there are a bunch of like 16 to 19-year-old like high-end players who were on the ice before us, and like as they were coming off the ice, they're all fucking 6'3" and have that stupid like fluffy fucking teenage boy haircut, And they're, looking at us and eyeballing us as they're coming off, and they're like kind of giggling to themselves. I'm like, kid, I was like, you're gonna be here in 20 years. Like, don't laugh now. But like all fucking roads lead to beer league for when you're not going pro.
We had a beer league in Florida I played at, which was actually at a old what is that? Country dancing. What's that called? The line dance. It was like a line dancing bar, and there was a rink in it. And
really?
Yeah, dude. And like, it was crazy because you always had these guys on these teams that came out there and they were fucking really trying to hurt you. Like, you had the group of guys who were doing it for fun, kind of entertainment wise. And then there was always these guys, man, that like, they always had the leg braces on when they got there, they fucking plowing you, just plowing you in the corners and shit, man. And I played with the St. Pete Sharks. This was like this, but we're the worst team in the league. And most of the team was like younger guys, and we would just get pummeled by these. And they loved it, man. They would get I think they were coming to the league playing, getting drunk. Oh, dude, they were just nailing people left and right. And I remember
there's nothing worse than a try hard in beer league.
No, they had the balls hanging from the back of their truck. Those kind of guys.
Yeah.
They made their truck a transgender truck.
Yeah. Before we jump into some stuff, I will answer Steven's question. He asked me if I like Aqua Blue, which is a restaurant. Honestly, maybe a half a mile from my house on 37. To be 100% honest, Steven, I've never been in there, but they did get a bunch of blowback recently in the news because there was a whole bunch of shit that went down because like they had this racist MAGA chef that was in charge of everything, and he was making like these specials, and like one of them that he made was like a Proud Boy burger, and he had on it like white American cheese, like all this shit. Like, it was all racist stuff, like all this anti-Biden. They got a bunch of blowback. They fired the guy, and like they were out doing their whole apology tour around town and everything. So that kind of turned me off. I mean, whatever your political views are, that's fine. Keep them to your fucking self. I don't need to go into a restaurant and sit down and have the chef, pushing his views and shit on me. I just want a burger. But
there was a pizza place I just saw from Jersey that got busted. They got in trouble for having like fucking Nazi stickers on their, the hood, the hood area.
Yeah.
And like I guess someone went in there and took photos of the restaurant itself. And when you zoomed in, there was like the S's, and all that shit. Like, I just read about this like 2 weeks ago.
Like growing up, like we were taught, and, we're older than most people that are doing this shit. But like, we were taught like Nazis are bad. Fascism is bad. We defeated it in World War II. It's never coming back. And like, we had our guards up against all of that. And just to see the amount of like pro-Nazi shit that's the Americans are now, that's scary. Like, that's the one thing.
Yeah. And there's a growing retconning of, World War II, and maybe we sided with the wrong guy. It's like,
right,
we did not side with the wrong guy. Like, let's not do that.
No.
And I saw an interview with Vance last night where he's like, well, every war ends in negotiation, just like World War II. It's like, we dropped 2 fucking massive bombs on the Japanese, and fucking Hitler killed himself in a bunker. That wasn't exactly a negotiation. We basically said, this is going to end now, and this is how. And
when the U.S. and Russia met in Berlin, it really wasn't time to negotiate. It was over.
Yeah.
I have to say this too, from someone who lives in Eastern Europe and takes this shit like fucking ultra serious, because I see what really happens, and I know the Russian agenda and stuff like this. Not even political, because I'm not Democrat or Republican, but you do not roll out a red carpet for Vladimir Putin, and you do not fly planes over his head in celebration. The guy is a fucking murderer and a piece of shit. And like I said, we live in a part of the world where we know what goes on,
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, I hear of people justifying it. Again, we're not political people. I hate politics, but people are like, well, they made a deal with NATO not to go close. Why does Ukraine want to be with NATO? There's one reason, because they don't want to get raped and murdered by this fucking savage country next to them. So,
which they're doing.
Yeah. If you don't like NATO's not the aggressor here. Like,
like Ukraine had nothing to do with fucking Russia. They just want to be left alone.
Finland's part of NATO, aren't they? Like, and
Finland's. I'll tell you what. Finland's badass, man. Finland is their president's awesome. Like, it's all these countries just want peace, man. They just want to be left alone because they've been raped and pillaged by these places before. Yeah. I know because I actually live. If anybody wants to even do the Googling, I live by the 9th Fort in Lithuania, which is I could see it actually from my yard over the fence.
Yeah. So it's
and that's no concentration camp. It's no concentration camp. Yeah, we're I think this was the one in our city was the worst one of the whole country. Like if you went there, you were done. You were dead. That was it.
Really?
And it sucks for me because whenever family and friends visit, where do they want to go visit? The 9th Fort. So I have to take them over there, and I just can't mentally deal with it because you see the kids' shoes, you see all this shit. It's fucking miserable. But yeah, we can talk about something better.
Here's $20. Go on your own. I'm gonna.
I told the last trip my sister came a couple weeks ago. We took them there, and I told my wife, I said, "Yeah, I'm kind of done with the concentration camps." I was like, because it weighs on me. Because my wife's a doctor. She deals with victims from Ukraine that come over here, some of the children and stuff like that. So it's easy to sit at home. I'm from the United States. I'm from Jersey, lived in Florida. It's easy to sit at home and look at the TV and be like, oh, fuck that country. Let them deal with it themselves. But there's a whole agenda there. When you have Russia running with North Korea and China.
And it doesn't stop at Ukraine.
It doesn't stop
that's
there.
It. Like if you don't stop him now and you let him take Ukraine, it's only a matter of time until Tony's doing this show from Jersey again because
I'm coming back.
So like there's a whole agenda. You're 100% right.
Yeah, what I hated, and we can move on after this because this is fucking depressing to talk about.
Yes, it is.
Anybody with brains knows this shit.
I'm the first person. Well, me and my brother are both, but we didn't serve in the military in like 5 generations of our family, and seeing service members actually on their hands and knees rolling out a red carpet was just something that just fucking absolutely disgusted me.
Yeah. It's I think a lot of
letting
people
them speak first. I mean, just so many fucking things.
Putin made him fucking wait like an hour and a half in his plane. Like
drove him in a limo, giving him a hand job.
United States wait for him on American soil, and this was okay. Like if Biden had done that, let's just say like we can end the political talk after this. But I always look at what Trump does and just always think, how would the Fox News and the right react if Biden had done this? And 9 out of 10 times, like they would be calling for his death, like his execution if it happened to shit, if he pulled this stuff. But anyway, we're gonna move on.
Happy Monday morning.
Yeah, because
if you guys want to mention Devils first, we can mention that, whatever you guys want to do. I don't give a shit.
Well, we're gonna save all the Devil stuff for 4:00.
Yeah,
so we'll do that later. And Bobby will be on. We have a Devil, we have a snake draft of the week. It'll be a lot of fun. So you guys
can we mention the snake draft now, though? What it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Top album covers. We went top 4 this time, right? Top 4 of the 90s.
4 of the 90s, which Tim got screwed up because we were going over.
I did top of all time, and like Tim's my entire list was like 70s and 80s. I was like License to Ill and Dark Side of the Moon, and I was like, oh fuck, now I gotta go like a whole.
Yeah. Well, it's hard too in a way because if you think about it, like you could say, even if you don't like a band, sometimes I don't hate Meatloaf, but I always say like Meatloaf, Bad Outta Hell is the most misleading album cover ever. Like most metal kids who got Bad Outta Hell is like, oh fucking look at this cover.
Right.
Then you listen to the album, it's totally different.
Yeah, so it's like it's fucking yacht rock.
Yeah, there's some bands that have. I mean, I always thought the metal bands have the best artwork usually. Like you look at Iron Maidens and shit like that, right?
Sure.
So it's kind of hard because some bands that are really good had shitty ass album covers.
So we're gonna do a little because what YouTube needs is another show talking about the NFL. So we figured we might as well. I do actually want to talk. We've been through preseason. We're a week away from actual regular season starting. Everybody has gone over every aspect of every team. Like you can go on YouTube and find out, your depth chart down to the fourth safety on your practice squad, and the people cover all of it. We're not going to really do that. We're going to just encompass the entire NFL, talk about all the games after they happen. But now I want to kind of grade out the divisions and where with all the offseason moves that have been done, preseason now over, you kind of have a look at every team. So where do you think they're going to fall? So we're going to start with the AFC East, and we'll go Tony, Tim, me, and explain like why you think certain things. So the Bills last year won the division at 13-4. The Dolphins came in second at 8-9, the Jets 5-12, and then the Patriots in the rear at 4-13. So Tony, Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. How do you see that division?
So I'm gonna go Buffalo. I'm gonna go from top to bottom on this one. So Buffalo, Miami, New England, and the Jets at the bottom. I think the Jets. It's 14 years since they've been in the playoff, which I think is actually the longest drought from a team going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I do think they have made some good moves. I don't know about Justin Fields, to be honest. But I do think they're going to be improved. New England, I think, is going to be New England. I have a little bit of question about because they got 12 new starters this year, new coach. So that's going to be interesting there. Miami, the secondary is not that great. And Buffalo is just Buffalo always falls short. You have an MVP quarterback in Allen. Do I think Buffalo is going to win this year? I just don't think Buffalo's ever going to win. But I think they're still the best team in that division. So that's my kind of feeling on the AFC East.
I agree with Buffalo. I agree with what you said there. What do you got, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo is going to walk away with this division pretty easily. I think the second, third, fourth battles may be a little bit more interesting. I have actually New England, the Jets, and then Miami. I think Miami is just going to absolutely fall apart. Tua's Jesus, man, that guy needs to stop playing football. And like the Mike McDaniel experiment is coming to an unceremonious end.
Where did you have the Jets at, Tim?
I am in third. I think the Jets are going to be a little bit better than they were last year, but this division is such trash that
better.
I don't know. It's you look at it's like 6-0 automatically for Buffalo. Like it's just like the easiest division for them to play.
The Pats always play them tough.
I think the Pats can be better. It's a good point about all the new guys and new coach, and we'll see how that integrates. But I think football tends to have a pretty good preseason. We might see a lot of early mistakes from them, but I think Drake May is a good quarterback. They got a good rookie running back. I'm a little bit higher on them, and the Jets are my second team, so I will. They're my adopted New York team, so I'd be remiss not to put them up. And I think with Justin Fields, I don't know if this is just vibes or not, but I feel like a lot of second chance quarterbacks actually do a little bit better than their first go around with their original teams. So that's what I'm saying there.
Yeah,
I have no idea. And just so everybody knows, I'm a lot more casual about football than I am hockey.
Which I think will be cool because Tony and I are pretty in depth, and then having like kind of a casual viewer, like curious to see like as the season goes how you see things. Maybe not looking into such a deep dive like me or Tony might, which is kind of cool. This is the easiest division to call. Buffalo's winning this thing. They're going to win it probably by week 11 or 12. But I do think that the Jets are going to end up second in that division. I love how the Jets are handling this offseason. They've just shut their mouths. Aaron Glenn has come in. They've quietly signed Sauce. They signed who was the receiver? Garrett Wilson. They signed these guys. They draft very well. They have a lot of really good young players, and I think Aaron what the fuck is it? I just said his name, the coach, Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn is going to really do a good job with this team moving forward. I expect their defense to be really good. They can run the ball. If Justin Fields is just somewhat accurate, but at the same time, he's a hell of an athlete. So just let the guy make plays, and I think they can be okay because it is a weaker division. New England, I think, comes in second. I absolutely love Drake May. I think Drake May is going to be a star. I was really hoping that Minnesota got him. He was my number one. McCarthy was my number two. But, Jay Snow saying, like, who's throwing the ball on the Jets? Justin Fields shows glimpses of being a decent quarterback. He's never going to be great, but I think that Aaron Glenn and that team knows what he is, what they have, and I think they're going to use him properly. So I could be wrong. But as far as New England goes, I love Vrabel. I love Drake May. They just don't. And I love Trayvon Henderson. He's going to be a fucking animal. But I just think they have way too many question marks at offensive line. They have like 2 or 3 rookies starting on the line. I don't like when 31-year-old Stephon Diggs is your number one wide receiver, that's just problems. I think they don't have enough weapons. So I just think they're a year or so away. I think Miami has the opportunity to draft top 5 next year. That's how bad I think Miami's going to be.
I think secondary is really bad.
Yeah,
and their head coach,
they're going to get fucking torched.
Yeah, and their head coach is a joke. When your head coach when your team has no respect for your head coach, it's a recipe for disaster. I think he's going to be Mike McDaniel will be is that his name? Mike McDaniel?
Yeah.
He's going to be the first head coach fired this year, and it'll probably be by like week 6 or 7. I see no chance in Miami. Tua's not going to.
I saw a funny picture, or is a side by side of when Mike McDaniel first started versus what he looks like now, and it's like his full descent into like Miami Coke dealer.
Yes.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
He's got like tinted glasses now, curly hair, bags under his eyes. It's fucking hilarious.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't like the guy, and I know when he came in, he was like this high flying offense. He was getting a lot of awesome play out of Tua and Tyreek and Waddle. Tyreek doesn't want to be there anymore. I just don't know if they have a clue what the fuck they're doing. So yeah. I agree with Jay Snow. I think he needs to go back to being an offensive coordinator. Right. I think you see that a lot, right? Josh McDaniels, right? I mean, he was an amazing OC, and twice he tried to be a head coach, and he failed spectacularly.
That guy.
We're going to get to a team down the road here that I think might also have that same problem coming up for them. A guy who was a really good OC. You could probably guess who I'm going with, and now as a head coach. So I don't know. We'll see, but I love Buffalo. I think this could definitely be their year if Josh Allen stays healthy. But we'll talk quarterbacks in a little bit. Let's go to the AFC North now. Timmy's Ravens ended up 12-5 last year. They won it. The Steelers were 10-7. The Bengals 9-8. The Browns were 3-14. Two teams, the Ravens and the Steelers, both made the playoffs. Bengals had the slow start, and we all know they just couldn't make up the ground, and the Browns are the Browns. So, Tony, what you got for the AFC North, bud?
The AFC North, I don't have much on it. I picked Baltimore first, actually. Cincinnati second, Pittsburgh, and then Cleveland. Timmy, your Ravens, that your quarterback, running back, whatever you want to call him. I still think I still think they're the best in that division. Cincinnati, I think, will improve because I think last year Cincinnati was 9-8, right, Chris?
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh was 10-7, but I'm picking Cincinnati going to finish higher than Pittsburgh this year. But I can't, as much as I hate the Ravens, Tim, it goes back for me. It does. I'm a Raider fan. It's pretty obvious. It goes back to Tony Saragusi falling on the freaking ribs of Rich Gannon and that cheap ass.
Still not over that, huh?
Not over that. Hey, us Raider fans, all we have is grudges, man.
Yeah, you do.
R.I.P. Tony Saragusa. How dare you talk ill of the dead?
Well, R.I.P. But
Tony Saragusa was the owner of the place I work at. Him and Tony Saragusa were partners in a restaurant here. Saragusa and him were really close. He used to come into my bar all the time before he passed.
How was he? Cool.
He's a really nice guy, super nice. The guys would call him like Uncle Tony, and he'd always come in and drink. He was super cool.
I met him a cool time. Like he's one of those like former players, celebrities that will actually sit and actually shoot the shit with you.
And there's that old rumor about like he wouldn't shower. He wouldn't shower before like 3 or 4 days before the game, just so when they got to like the fourth quarter, he stunk so bad that guys didn't even want to fucking touch him. Like that's what he used to do that. Like that's a crazy person. Like that's a dude that loves football so much that he's wants.
That's a hockey player, bro.
Those are the players that don't like. Who was it that doesn't brush his teeth? He's like what's his name? Subban supposedly didn't brush his teeth when he play. It's like he blows fucking nasty smell in people's face and shit like that. You look at it's kind of a player thing. It's okay. I don't mind those kind of players, but I didn't like him. But Ravens are the best in that division, I think. I think Cincinnati will improve. I do agree with Snow, though, that the defense is a question with them. But
big question.
I'm picking Baltimore in that division.
What do you got, Timmy?
Yeah, Baltimore, similar to the East, I think Baltimore kind of puts some distance between them. Cincy's, I don't think is that good. Their offense is good. The defense is question marks. Pittsburgh's going to be a fucking clown show. Although I do think Aaron Rodgers bounces back a little bit, but he's holding on for dear life. Like, yeah, that guy needs to fucking retire. And Cleveland's just a laughing stock. Like, they're keeping 4 quarterbacks on their roster. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
For not having a logo.
You still have Deshaun Watson. Actually, I think how many do they have now?
It's Flacco, Sanders, Deshaun Watson. They let Pickens too. Fuck. They just let Tyler Huntley go.
Okay, so
Huntley a good backup QB for the Ravens or the Raiders to pick up, by the way.
I think the Raiders should get Jameis Winston. That's what I think.
So who you got for crab legs over in Tampa?
Baltimore. Then I have Cincy coming in second, and then Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of in agreement here. Baltimore is going to win this thing if everybody stays healthy. And, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore, to me, is that Carolina Hurricanes, right? They're a great regular season. They can't get over the hump. And a lot of the time it's because of the way the quarterback plays in the big games. So he's got to put it all together. You look at Buffalo, they're another team that can't get over that hump, but it's because of the pieces around Josh Allen. Josh Allen does everything.
Fucking close.
Yeah.
Josh, you'd see Allen. I could just picture him sitting on the bench at the end of with the clock running down with that look on his face. Like, I just can't believe this is happening again. Yeah. And he calls up Jim Kelly and goes, how the fuck does this happen?
Yeah. He says, because we're in Buffalo. The Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers, those two, I'm kind of flip-flopping around. I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a lot better than he was last year. I think that the Steelers have a great defense. I like their coach. So I think they're going to be pretty good. Their wide receiver room is a little soft. I know they have Metcalf. He's a good deep threat, but do they really have, other than their tight ends, anybody that can really work the middle of the field, which is where Rodgers lives and dies nowadays? Cincinnati, if I was starting a team right now, all right, an NFL team, and my first pick is Joe Burrow. I absolutely love Joe Burrow. He's generational. He's a future Hall of Famer. But when you spend 30% of your salary cap or something like that on 3 players in Burrow, Higgins, and Chase, it's just really hard to build out any other parts of your team. And it was obvious last year. Their defense is terrible. And if they don't sign Trey Hendrickson or they trade him, then they have nobody. So I have no idea what is going to happen in Cincinnati with that defense, because
Raiders should grab Hendrickson.
I mean, if you can trade for him, absolutely. You could put Hendrickson on the other side of Max Crosby. That is
that was a rumor actually the last 2 weeks in Vegas, is that Hendrickson was a name that's been brought up and tossed around. But I see so many rumors, you never know. But that's a name I've seen constantly in the last 2 weeks.
Hey, I mean, if you could pull it off, do it. Jay Snow writes, the Giants won't trade Winston. He'll be the backup next year. See, I don't think so, because they want to start Russell Wilson. We know that. And we'll get to the Giants, but they're going to start Wilson. They're going to have Dart as the backup. And I think they're going to want to keep DeVito only because he's been there for 3 years. He knows the offense. He knows what he's doing. So that's why I see Jameson Winston.
If we lost Chris or not.
I hope we lost him.
Well, I'll piggyback off. If I was the Giants, I would make DeVito my announcer or somebody, because the fans love him. Right? I guess at the end of the day. So, Chris, we thought we lost you, so I just kept on talking. So go ahead.
I don't know what happened. No. I think you might be right about that with DeVito. But I just think DeVito will be a good backup, even for the Raiders. Like, he's not a bad football player. He's kind of grown into being a guy that can play in the league. But again, all right. So I'm going to take Cincinnati second, just because I'm going to get the Burrow effect. Pittsburgh is going to miss the playoffs. And Cleveland, unfortunately, is Cleveland. Like, when you just keep on stepping in it, they can't get the shit off the bottom of their shoe.
I know some Cleveland fans. They were excited a couple years ago, but now they're not excited anymore. I remember they were pumped up those couple seasons.
And, I don't hate Shedeur Sanders like everybody else does. I think I watched him a lot in college. He's an accurate thrower of the ball. Absolutely needs to be groomed. He needs to spend a year not playing football. He needs to learn. He needs to run a taxi squad or something. And Dylan Gabriel, I feel the same way about. I think Shedeur can be a better long-term quarterback than Dylan Gabriel. But, I don't know what the hell they're going to do at quarterback, because, signing what's his name, Watson, was the biggest mistake you can make. Fully guaranteed $240 million for a fucking sexual guy with 30 sexual assault charges on him. Yeah. So I mean, Cleveland
2025. It's okay.
But so let's move to the AFC South. won by the Texans last year at 10-7. The Colts 8-9, the Jaguars 4-13, and the Titans 3-14. Tony, what do you got for the AFC South, buddy?
It's a really tough one for me because I'll admit this is another division I don't watch too much of.
Division nobody watches.
Colts Colts are 4 years since the playoffs. Jags, I just don't believe in Lawrence. They got Hunter on as a wide receiver, which is good. So I'm gonna go. This is kind of crazy. People are gonna give me shit, but Colts first. I don't know how I'm doing this. Texas second, Titans third. Titans were a worse team last year. I think if you look, I think they were did they have the worst record, Chris? I think you have the
record. They picked Cam Ward first overall. They were 3-14.
Yeah. And I don't think Cam Ward, who knows with Cam Ward's, but I think so I'm gonna go Colts, Texas, Titans, and then Jags. And like I said, Trevor Lawrence, the next division I'm sure we're gonna talk about. I feel the same about a quarterback over there too that everyone loves. I thought Lawrence gets so much love that I just don't see it.
Okay.
It's okay. Like I said, that division I'm not great with, but that's just,
they gotta, he's got to do it this year. Trevor Lawrence absolutely has to do it this year. So, I like that. I hope that's how it ends up. I'd love to see that, Indianapolis actually win that division. I think that's pretty cool. What do you got, Tim?
I have a complete opposite. I have Houston kind of running away with that division. I have Indy tanking to get what's his name, Manning.
Could happen.
And I think I honestly I see Trevor Lawrence taking a step this year, and Jacksonville coming in second. And Tennessee's trash, but I see them and Indy kind of fighting for the basement. But I think Houston runs away with this. So CJ Stroud's the real deal.
They could, yeah.
I just don't see any way around that. And I saw enough of Daniel Jones to be like, come on. Like, that guy fucking sucks at football. That's a hilarious video. Daniel Jones almost had like a 90-yard run last season. And it was like, this is Daniel Jones' career summed up perfectly. It's wide open in the clear. He's at the 20-yard line. And he just fucking falls.
I don't hate Daniel Jones. And I don't think he's complete trash. But Houston, you got CJ Stroud. You got a ton of weapons on offense. That defense might be top 2 or 3 in the league this year. So I got Houston winning it again. Second place, I am going to go with the Colts and Daniel Jones. They actually have a real team. They have a lot of players. They have a lot of skill players. Their defense should be pretty good. I'm rooting for them. I'm going to go with Indianapolis second. I'm going to go Jacksonville third because this is the year. Trevor Lawrence has to show something. See, Jacksonville wouldn't shock me if they pop up and won the division. I wouldn't be surprised. Now they have Travis Hunter. They have weapons now for him. They have a new coach. I think that Liam Cohen is going to be able to get a lot out of that offense. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. So I'm going to go Jacksonville third, and then Tennessee and Cam Ward and the rookie QB are taking up the rear.
I went to Jacksonville. I went to a Raider game there probably 8 years ago now. I didn't like that stadium, man. I don't know what it is
fucking
about that
awful.
area. Yeah, I did not.
Jacksonville is a shit city.
Yeah, because I went to I did a run. I went to the Raiders played New Orleans, Tampa, and then they played Jacksonville. So I went all the games, And Jacksonville was my least favorite arena. And yeah, AOC Aiden O'Connell's out for 5 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm already stressed as a Raider fan. Believe it or not. Even I know preseason's preseason, but the Raiders got a lot of question marks, which I'll talk about. We're doing the AFC West next.
Yeah, we're doing the AFC West. Yeah. Jay Snow, well, real quick, Jay Snow, like he calls Daniel Jones a shitbag. That shitbag beat my Vikings in a playoff game. So I do give him a little bit of credit for that, even though Vikings off defense was complete garbage that year. But still, he won a playoff game.
Sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Tony, I went to maybe 10 years ago when the NFL Network was the only one that had Thursday Night Football as a guest of the NFL. We went to a Thursday Night Football game in Jacksonville. It was Jacksonville, Tennessee. It was when the Thursday night schedule was fucking awful.
Right.
Worst game in the worst city, in the worst stadium.
And the tailgates are a little fenced area.
Yeah. It's like yeah. Yeah, like that was the only like bright spot is like we had our own kind of dedicated tailgate or in stadium area where like none of the riffraff could get at us. But like we had a huge cooler of just beers that was on wheels, and people were walking by, and I moved the cooler up to like the fence area so people could just walk by and just grab a free beer out of it. It's pretty funny. But yeah, it was like I was like, cool, Jacksonville in the fall, it should be nice. It was like 50 degrees and overcast, and what a shit city.
Well, a team is a dog shit when the crowd chants the county that the team is in as their like war cry. Duval. Like, really? You're yelling the county name? Like, I've never seen a team ever do that. It's the dumbest thing ever. So yeah, fuck Jacksonville.
What's one of my buddies works on he runs like the kind of media and advertising for what's the bank? It's Everbank Stadium or something like that.
Yeah, Everbank, and they changed it to Trevor Bank for that one time.
Yeah, I know. So my buddy was the one that came up with Trevor Bank.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
And I think Trevor Lawrence, if you look at the game that they did that, I think he threw like 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
like, it was a terrible game. They were like, we can never have this again.
Yeah, he was like, we got to keep doing it. And they were like, no, that was a failed experiment.
Yeah. All right. AFC West, the Chiefs 15-2, Chargers 11-6, both made the playoffs, and the Broncos made the playoffs at 10-7, followed by Tony's Las Vegas Raiders at 4-13. Tony, AFC West, how's this playing out?
Now, be honest on this one.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like, be honest.
I'm going to be honest on this one. And I'm going to put it like this. It's 85% honest. There's a little bit of homer there, but not too much. And I'm a diehard Krista. I've been a Raider fan since I was a little kid. Seen them lose a lot of heartbreakers. First of all, I will say, I love seeing Tom. I never thought I'd say this. I fucking saw it last week. Tom Brady with the Raider hat on, the Raider shirt, walking around.
His Al Davis outfit.
Maybe kind of excited. Had a little Al Davis going on. Maybe we're definitely going to be a better team this year, Vegas. There's a lot of. I think we've improved in every angle almost. I mean, but I'm gonna run through how I think it's going to finish. I'm going to be honest here, and as much as I can't even say hate enough for Kansas City. I still have Kansas City finishing first, but I do have I hate every team in this division. Denver, I have picked, as much as I feel sick saying it, I think Denver will finish second. Knicks really impressed me last year. Denver has improved in so many ways, as much as I hate to see it. I have the Raiders finishing third in that division. I do, which is it was not hard. It's not as hard as it may sound for me to put them there because I believe that, and I've said this before, and I always get shit from every football fan about this. I think Herbert is a fraud. I think he's a decent quarterback, never has won it, and gets so much respect and his ass kissed for never getting it done because he's never got it done. What's the difference? I watched him and Derek Carr. Obviously, Carr got a lot of shit for years. Not much difference in achievements there. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't believe in him. I think that Cleo Max 34 now, getting up there in age. Slater's hurt. They're fucking one of their main players. I just picture the Raiders being able to finish above them. I think the Raiders will.
Tony's going in and out here.
He's going in and out.
Yeah. Tony, we might need you to duck out for a second. So, Tim, why don't you take the? Oh, are you here, Tom?
Am I back?
Yep, we got you back. Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Not really.
Sort of.
All right, I'll jump in. Tony, why don't you duck in and out?
Yeah, Tony, duck out and hop back in.
This is probably the one I struggled with the most, and I think I decided to go purely on what I want to see happen as opposed to what probably will happen. And right. I think Denver finally takes this division.
Really?
Yeah. Again, like I just said, I've had enough of Kansas City. Like, fuck these guys. Like,
okay.
I mean, there's nothing really hateable about Kansas City except for Jackson Mahomes, and fucking Brittany Mahomes. But Kelsey's up there in age. They just had enough of them fucking winning. Like, it's time to cede this division to someone else. Time to cede the AFC to the Bills and the fucking Ravens. But I think, this 1 through 3, and I think KC, Denver might be a little bit interchangeable, but I think Vegas does finish in third, but I think Vegas has a good season. And I kind of agree with Tony. I think the Chargers are in the basement. Like the Herbert thing, he's like the most vanilla white guy pocket passer there is. Like, I don't get the excitement. Well, I do, because white quarterbacks tend to get a lot more fucking rope than other quarterbacks. But I just don't see it there. But I think Denver, KC, Vegas, LA Chargers. But I think it's going to be a pretty competitive division.
See, the NFL knocked me off right there because they hate the Raiders.
They
just figured out a fucking way to screw me over on that.
Goodell's watching and just press escape.
Son of a bitch.
I was saying for a while that Kansas City is going to miss the playoffs this year. And I really thought they were going to head down. And then I watched preseason, and Patrick Mahomes looks like he's in like mid-season form already. And I just think he's too good. Kansas City's, they're perennial winners of this division. They're going to win it again. Denver is going to give them a big fight for that division. And I would not be surprised if it comes down the last couple of weeks of the season. I love Denver's defense. I think they're going to be really good. Bo Nix did, Tony, I agree with you, showed a lot last year, played really good. And now you have another year in Sean Payton's system. I mean, just look at this division, these 4 teams, and look at the head coaches. You have Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, and Jim Harbaugh. These all 4 of these dudes are probably going to a Hall of Fame. Like, it is probably the best coached division in the NFL. I think there's going to be a lot of really good games. I think every team is going to be better. I do think it's going to go Kansas City. I think it's going to go Denver. I think it's going to go Chargers, and then the Raiders. But I think the Raiders are going to take a big jump up. I see them maybe 8 wins, doubling their win total from last year. And if you do that, it's a good season. So,
and Geno Smith's going to be I think
he's good. He's a good quarterback.
Fucking good quarterback. Jacoby Myers. Look at the weapons he has now. Brock is awesome. I don't know. And the defense is going to be a problem for Vegas again this year, I believe. Our offensive line's a big question, but like I said, this team is definitely improved in so many different areas that I'm excited for football again. AOC getting hurt kind of sucks. I do like Aiden O'Connell. I don't want him as my starting quarterback though, but as a backup, I didn't mind him. But and then the free agent market sucks for quarterbacks, I think. So right. I don't know, you got to make a trade. That's pretty much. I love Chip Kelly. I think he's going to do great with the team.
I think the Raiders have a lot of good going on, and I think that if you're a Raider fan, you should be very excited about this year because I think they're going to be a lot better. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So let's move over to the NFC, the division that matters, the NFC East. We'll start there. The Eagles won the Super Bowl, won the division 14-3. The upstart Commanders ended up 12-5. They also made the playoffs. The Cowboys 7-10. The Giants 3-14. Tony, what do you think this division's going and why?
I am gonna get some more. Philly's gonna hate me for this one. Now, first instinct, Philly wins the division again. But I'm gonna go with Washington. They do have a bad run defense. But now the problem is Washington can only go down from last year, really, most likely. Yeah. But I'm going to go with Jaden. I think I'm going to pick them over the Eagles and surprise. It's going to be a surprise. People are going to be like, holy shit, Tony Pucker knew what the fuck he was talking about. He wasn't even stoned. Not even stoned yet today. I'm going to go Washington, Philly. I hate Dallas, but I'm going to go. So Dallas really, like with Parsons too, we don't know what the hell's going on with that even. There's a lot, Dallas has some problems. And the Giants, I don't even know if Dart. I heard someone was mic'd the other day. You guys may know, Chris. You may have heard this. Someone was mic'd on the sidelines, and Dart was tossing the ball around, and I don't fucking who it was. And they had him on the mic saying, "If I was Giant fan, I would not be excited about this kid."
Patrick.
Oh, you heard? Okay, so you heard saw the story.
Yeah, too. I see it, but I saw someone say Fitzpatrick caught on hot mic trashing.
Yeah, you're right. It's Fitzpatrick. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's interesting.
He looked pretty good. And I know preseason kind of grain of salt, but he looked pretty good in his preseason games. I mean, better than Shedder Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a couple of good preseason games. I don't like, you can't put any stock in preseason.
No, I
That's
get
the
it.
problem.
Unless your particular team goes undefeated, then you're winning the Super Bowl.
We didn't win.
Yeah,
we didn't win one.
I mean, how many teams do you see go 3-0 and then lose their first 4 or 5 games? It's just you're going against the B squads. It's mostly, and coaches nowadays put way more stock into joint practices and scrimmages with other teams than they do in the preseason games. And the preseason games used to be gearing up your whole team. Fourth preseason game, that's the dress rehearsal, get ready for week 1. Everybody plays a quarter, maybe a half. You throw your starters in there. Now we're going to throw guys that are on the bubble, see who's going to make this team, maybe give our starters a rep here or there. That's how most teams do it. Most teams do put most of their stock in the joint practices and whatnot. So, I mean, I think that Jackson Dart, he's got a good quarterback coach and the head coach in Daboll. I mean, do I think he's going to be a stud right out of the blocks? No. But I think if they throw him in week 7, week 8, if Russ is, not playing great, I think he can do all right. So
do we all agree that Washington, Dallas is probably going to be? I mean, we actually faced Raiders face Washington week 3. I think it is, and I think we face Philly too this year. Actually, we faced them both, but I think at the top, I don't think Dallas is even going to be. To me, I'm not sold on Dak ever. I've never been a big Dak fan.
Mess.
They're a mess.
I don't like Dak.
I mean, realistically, Philly's the team to beat. But
do you see the picture of during I think it was their preseason game this past weekend? Parsons was like street clothes, just lying on a fucking table.
Yeah, lying on a fucking massage table, eating nachos.
Like, this guy does not want to fucking be here.
Eating nachos in his sweatsuit.
It's crazy. And the NFL's crazy to me, man. It's like how these guys just like, fuck it, I don't want to be here. And then they get traded for like a 5th round pick. NFL trades crack me up. Like,
yeah.
Like
Micah Parsons is not getting traded.
Adams.
There's no way they're trading.
And we could get to this with the Commanders, but no, that's interesting. I don't see the Commanders thing that like Tony does. Philadelphia is a wagon. They're not going anywhere. But I think I fucking hate Dallas. Like, just it's the most fatherless behavior to fucking pick Dallas as your favorite team.
Who do you have for your second?
Washington. I like Jane Daniels, little connection to the Devils is the ownership. Depends on if they're the Commanders or if they go revert back to the Redskins like a bunch of fucking lunatics because of the stadium shit. Giants will be better, I think. I think they're finally kind of on the right track. I do think Dart, he's got an A+ fucking quarterback name. Like Jackson Dart is an A+ quarterback name. Can't argue with that. So Philadelphia, Washington, Dallas, Giants.
All right. I agree with you on Philly. I mean, I don't expect them to have the year they had last year. Like, I don't expect Saquon to run for 2,000 yards. And, there's a lot of hate on Jalen Hurts, which I don't understand. Like, you always hear these national media people, and they're always ranking quarterbacks into their tiers and everything. And they always have like Jalen Hurts in the second tier of quarterbacks. And the reasoning is the team wins with him. They don't win because of him. You look at Allen, you look at Jackson and Burrow and Mahomes, they will their team to win. And because of them, the team wins. But then I say to myself, other than Mahomes, what have the other guys won? They haven't won anything. Yeah, they can win regular season games, but they haven't even played in a Super Bowl other than Burrow. So that argument kind of gets thrown out the window. It's a team sport, the biggest team sport there is. You need all 11 guys on either side of the ball to do their job to perfection for one play to even work. So I think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I really do. I mean, the guy just fucking wins. He's been in 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls and won the MVP in this one and played great in his first one. So I like Philly I don't like Philly, but trying to be middle of the road here. Philadelphia wins the division. Washington has some problems right now. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Stopping the run's going to be a bitch for them too.
Yeah, and what's going on with Terry McLaurin? Are they going to sign this guy? I mean, they need him. I mean, and now you have 31 other teams that have 17 games worth of tape plus playoffs on Jaden Daniels. They're not going to – he's not going to have the year he had, but I still think they're good enough to win second. I think the Giants take a big step. I think they get third. I think the Giants defense is going to be scary good this year, and I think that's going to give them a chance to win games. If they can establish a decent run game and not put it all on whoever is under center, the Giants can win some games. I like them in third. Dallas, shit show. They're coming in last in this division. And, you can sit there and say, oh, Jerry Jones just likes the circus and he likes to always be in the media and all this stuff. You end up dead last in this division. I think changes will be made in Dallas at some point, and that's what's going to happen. So that's where I'm going with that. So let's move to the NFC West. The Rams won it and made the playoffs at 10-7. They were tied with the Seahawks at 10-7, but the Seahawks missed the playoffs through tiebreaker. The Cardinals were 8-9, and the 49ers were an injury-plagued 6-11. So, Tony, where do you see this division going?
Well, I mean, I'm going to pick Seattle up at top. Obviously, so Seattle can get in the playoffs. I do believe this, of course. Just what Sam are we going to get? As Chris knows from experience, that's the big question there. They have a great defense, Seattle, I think. Like I said, Darnold's going to be the big question there. As much as I'm going to go with the Rams second. You know what, though? I want to see the Rams fail. And the reason I want to see the Rams, I know that Stafford practiced this week. Devontae Adams is one of the biggest quitters I've ever seen. He dogged the Raiders. I watched him do it, screwed over the team, talk shit. And I would love nothing more than to see Garoppolo be his starting quarterback for the fucking year since he dogged out Garoppolo in Vegas. What goes around comes around. I hope that happens. San Francisco, I'm going to go third. And then Arizona at the bottom because Kyle Murray, I don't think he's awful, but look at how many games last year they scored like no points hardly. If you look at the scores from last year's games, they were averaging like under 17, 14 points a game. So that's why I'm going with that. Of course, I want to see the Rams fail.
Well, last year, the Rams, let's see, 28 points, 41 points, and then they went 13 points, 14 points, 24 points, 13 points, 17 points, 28 points, 29 points, 31 points, 6 points, 22 points. So you're kind of right. 18
it's a lot of games to be under 15 points.
A lot of games to be under 20 points. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So yeah, I mean the Rams, that's a big problem with Stafford. I mean, I get that. Okay, he's practicing. That's great. Throwing on air, probably not going to hurt yourself. But the first time your left tackle misses a fucking block and somebody drills you on the blind side, are you going to get up?
And they're going to aim for that back.
Yeah, of course they are. Tim, what do you got for the West?
I think this might be the worst division in the league. Like, there's just so much fucking absolute mediocrity in this division. I was looking at it, I was like, I don't even know who the fuck these guys are. So I'm going to go backwards. I think Seattle's absolute garbage. I think they're in last. Arizona fucking sucks. I think they're third. And then, honestly, it was a toss-up between the Rams and 49ers for me. No fucking idea. So I picked the Rams and then the 49ers. I have no idea. Stafford needs to stay healthy. I still don't fully trust Brock Purdy, even though he continues to prove people wrong. But I
do like
I don't know. I just there's nothing I like, nothing redeeming about this this division for me.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, I think that the Rams, have the best roster in this division. But it all does come down to Matt Stafford. Is Matthew Stafford going to be healthy and play 17 games plus the playoffs? I don't think so. And this injury, and then when you're dealing with a big back injury, this is the kind of injury that
hurts forever.
Well, but like week 4, week 5, if he's hurt, this is the kind of injury that he just pops up and retires. He just realizes he can't do it anymore and retires. So as far as the Rams go, I think if Stafford is healthy all year, they're going to win the division. But I'm betting that he's not. the 49ers were so injury plagued last year, and I know that they have a lot of still. I think Ayuk isn't starting the season. I like Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is not, a guy that's going to go out there and throw for 400 yards or anything, but he's smart with the football. He knows what he's doing. He can make all the throws. I'm going 49ers. They have a super favorable schedule, as much stock as you want to put in the schedule. I mean, everybody's schedule is easy or hard, depending, we play Baltimore this year in Minnesota. That's a tough game unless, Jackson's hurt, and then it's not so hard. So I'm going to go 49ers first. I'm going to go Seattle second. I'm going to take the Rams third, only because I don't think Stafford's going to play all year. And the Cardinals are the Cardinals. I don't like Kyler Murray at all. For a dude that can wow you on some plays where you just sit there going, jaw on the ground, how the hell did he do that? You run around behind the line of scrimmage for 90 seconds and chuck a 50-yard bomb and complete it. The guy's ridiculous, but he's so goddamn inconsistent. And towards the end of the year, when Call of Duty comes out, he folds like a cheap hammer. So, I don't know what Arizona is going to do. I really don't give a shit. So I'm going to go Niners to win that one. I would also love to see the Rams shit the bed, Tone. I'm with you on them. I can't stand what they did to us last year in the playoffs. So I'd love to see them miss the playoffs.
Plus, so how funny would it be to see Devon? I mean, I know you guys aren't Raider fans, but
I agree with you, because he even came out in the wide receiver documentary saying he was the one that made the call to have Garoppolo bench.
Yeah,
he went to management and said, "Put in O'Connell."
Well, have fun with him this year.
Yeah, and now you're right back where you started, which is pretty poetic justice. Now, I disagree with what you said, Tim, that NFC West being the worst division. I think the AFC South is the worst division. But
yeah, fair. I also don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so I just going off the cuff here.
Don't worry. Tonight you'll be on fire, Tim. We're bringing you to the Devil's Podcast tonight. You'll be.
That's it.
About hockey now. It's something I actually
skate your circles around the parking lot.
All right, the NFC South. The Buccaneers won it at 10-7. The Falcons 8-9. The Panthers 5-12, and the Saints 5-12. This is also a bad division. What do you got, Tone, for the NFC South?
So obviously I'm not a Buccaneer fan, even though I lived in Tampa for over 20 years. They beat my Raiders in the Super Bowl. I was abused daily during that period of time. I do like Baker Mayfield. I kind of had wished the Raiders had gotten him when he was, able to be grabbed. I think Michael Evans is one of the coolest NFL players there is in the league. Does great things for the city itself, is a good fucking person. I was happy to see him get his record last year, even though it was against the Raiders. I think Atlanta's going to be an improved team this year. I really do. I think Atlanta's going to be fun to watch. So I'm going to go Tampa, Atlanta, and I'm going to pick New Orleans over Carolina. But I got to be honest, New Orleans, I mean, they were not impressive last year at all. A lot of problems with that roster. What do they have? Carolina has Young, right, as the quarterback now.
Yep, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, yeah.
So I want to go Tampa, Atlanta, New Orleans, and then Carolina, just because I just can't picture New Orleans finishing dead last, but it is a possibility.
They were dead last year. All right.
When Carr got hurt, after Carr got hurt, they were done. Not one.
Didn't they score like 150 points in the first two games or something?
But I will say this: their quarterback has the coolest name on that Rattler. I have to give him credit.
Spencer Rattler. That is a cool name.
That is a cool name.
Yeah, he was really hyped for a couple of years in college, and then kind of fell off a cliff, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a huge 5-star recruit coming out of. This is a great one. I got to put this up. Stephen Engel's post here. Listening to you guys talk football makes me love hockey even more. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Is that a compliment or is that?
I don't think so. I think it's an insult.
Stephen, are you a football fan? And if so, what team is your team?
Start. Yeah, and who was your team? All right, so Tim, what do you got for the NFC South?
I may have lied about the West being the worst division. This may be the worst division.
This isn't bad.
This is a bad one. I honestly, if the over under for wins for New Orleans was 2. I'd think long and hard about that bet. Being a football player in New Orleans is got to be like the most tempting shit on the face of the earth. There's just too much fucking weird shit that happens down there. Like
it's been 8 years there in a row, man.
Atlanta, with Penis as their quarterback, which he does not like. I saw a video of him walking into
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix walking in, and someone's like, "Hey, Penis," and he was like, "Don't fucking call me that."
Awesome. Steven's a Jet fan. That's the reason you hate football.
Okay. Womp. Carolina, those guys need to prove that they actually should be allowed to have an NFL team. Like they've wallowed in absolute irrelevancy for their entire fucking tenure, more or less, except for the Cam Newton years. So by default, I'm kind of giving this division to Tampa. So Tampa, Carolina, Atlanta, I think are going to be close for second, third, but I have Carolina eking out, then Atlanta, and then NOLA.
I'm with you exactly, Tim. I think Tampa Bay is a team that nobody's talking about that could possibly win the NFC. I think they are that good. I love Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I love Baker Mayfield. I just love his fucking attitude.
Yeah, I mean, his guys will run through a brick wall for him, and I dig the guy. I wish that he never left Cleveland because that would have just answered all of the Browns' problems. But I'm happy it ended up good for him in Tampa. Carolina is going to take a big step this year. Now, I know they're probably trading Adam Thielen to Minnesota. That's probably going to get done within the next couple of days, but they have enough wide receivers. Yeah, it's going to get done. I do think they have enough weapons. Bryce Young showed something at the end of the year. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Philly. They went toe-to-toe with Kansas City. And I think that they can get over the hump and start learning how to win some of these games. So I'm going to go with Carolina second. I'm super excited to watch Michael Penix this year. I just have no faith in Atlanta. I don't know if they even have a pass rush. They have weapons that just, I don't know. Pitts never turns up and does anything good. He's a constant disappointment. I love Bijan Robinson. I think he's a great running back. Penix can throw a ball, beautiful ball. I mean, he can throw a hell of a deep ball. I like watching him, but I think Atlanta's going to end up
foreskin,
beautiful balls,
long balls,
beautiful,
soft, glossy.
What else? Balls. Atlanta ends up third. New Orleans doesn't even know who the hell their starting quarterback is yet. Tyler Shuck
what an absolute disaster.
It's a great city though.
But they deserve
dangerous
better.
As fuck. But
Kellen, have I ever told you my New Orleans story?
Sorry, Chris. The male prostitute?
No. I was just going to say, like Kellen Moore being the new head coach there, he's going to get them on the right track, but they're not going to be good this year. They're probably going to be picking the top 2 or 3 in the draft. So New Orleans last. What's your New Orleans story?
So I was down there for the NBA All-Star game 6-7 years ago, and my company, we rented our own house because we had a lot of like NBA sponsors. So it was kind of like a showcase of a lot of the work that we do with NBA sponsors. Like NBA All-Stars, like a big sponsorship type of event. So we rented a whole house down there, and we were in the Garden District. And I had never been to New Orleans, no idea. So
I've never been there either.
It's a great city, but do not wander off of Bourbon Street.
Yeah,
which I made the mistake of taking. Me and a buddy took. Because it was such a big event, like downtown, that sort of French Quarter in New Orleans was really crowded, and like you couldn't get Ubers to come in and out, so you had to kind of wander off. But this guy in a pedicab came by. This isn't really a story. This is a side story. Guy in a pedicab came by, and we were like, hell yeah! We were drunk. It was like 2 a.m. We were like, let's take this guy home. So from the French Quarter to the Garden District in New Orleans goes through some areas that you should not be 2 white guys riding on a pedicab through. So we somehow made it alive. But there was a gas station across the street from the house that we were in. That had unbelievable fried chicken. So
Tim froze.
I know this is kind of an appropriate look. This is an appropriate look for this story. So after that pedicab ride, we go down, we get some fried chicken for the house, and so we come back like heroes. And I paid for it, and somehow I left my wallet or fell out of my pocket in this gas station. So I lost my wallet, and at the time, all my credit cards, my driver's license, all my identification. I was looking for it the next morning. Could not find it. Went online to like look at my bank statement, and clearly somebody had found my wallet because the next morning they went and spent over $100 at Burger King over four different times. So I was flying out that night back to New York. So I had nothing on me. I had no identification at all. The only ID that I had was my business card that I taped to my computer. So I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So I go to the airport, like no ID on me. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get on this plane. And I go to the TSA agent. I'm like, look, I pull out my computer. I'm like, it's me. I lost my wallet. I need to get back to New York to like get all my shit back together. And the guy, like, I'm expecting him to be like, no, sorry, you're fucked. You have to stay here forever. Or like, go fucking figure out another way. He's like, oh, that's all right. And then he pointed over to like a bench in the corner with like 6 other dudes. And he's like, yeah, that's the lost wallet bench in the airport. So it's me and like 6 fucking losers sitting on this bench, just like, we're so dumb. We got robbed in New Orleans and here we are. So that's my New Orleans story.
Nice. So you made it back. Got your
I did make it back. I did make it back. A buddy of mine actually gave me his bank card and was like, because you're going to need to get back from the airport once we get to New York. So
that was nice.
That was very nice of him. I'll be right back.
All right.
I love New Orleans, man. I used to go up to New Orleans. I was there, Chris, I don't know if you know the band Acid Bath, but we used to go see the old singer Dax Riggs play up there acoustic. I spent every Halloween there for many years. I liked it, but it's very like Tim said, New Orleans is a place where you go, you don't piss in the alleyways by yourself at night.
No.
You always have to stay alert. You always have to pay attention because there's a lot of shit going on there. But it is a fun town, man, especially on football Sunday because I've been there for many of the Saints football.
I bet that's crazy.
It's a big party.
It's kind of cool how you can like walk basically from like the bars like right to like the NBA arena and the Superdome are kind of right there. Like you can kind of walk there. Like you walk out of a bar with a drink and they're like, hey, hold on, sir. And then they give you a plastic cup. And you're like,
right.
Like,
they do in Vegas.
But I also was like trying to be a tough guy. Like I could drink a lot and I'd have like 2 hurricanes and fucking.
And they're all full of sugar and shit.
Could barely stand. Oh no, I was like, my diabetes through the roof.
And Steven, I shouldn't make fun of your Jets, dude. I'm a Raider fan, so I have no room to speak. And
I think we're all rooting for the Jets here to some extent. I mean, they are my adopted second favorite team. So just because growing up, never had Viking games to watch. So I would always watch. I hated the Giants, so I would just watch the Jets back then with Boomer Esiason, but even before that, like Browning Nagel and some horrible quarterbacks.
I remember Kenny O'Brien. Kenny
O'Brien when they were in the division with Indianapolis, and it'd be like a Jets Colts game, and it'd be like a 6-3 final because it was just terrible. But yeah,
Jason saying fuck the Jets. Yes, Jason, I'm in Lithuania.
All right, let's you want to tell him how you ended up there? I have to take care of something real quick.
So I play in metal bands my whole life. I've been in I was young, man. I still do it. And
I'm doing a show. What's up?
I met my wife she was buying band t-shirts from us many years ago. She's actually a child surgeon here over in Lithuania. So we have 2 daughters now. So we go back and forth. I have a place in Florida still.
All right, I love you too. I'll talk to you.
Our kids are in school here.
All right.
So it's a better place for us to be here for my daughters. But yeah, my wife's, like I said, she's a doctor here. If I take her back to America, she's got to go through schooling again and stuff. So, but I met her from playing music, man. I've been playing metal for a long time, and she was just a fan of the band. And then now we have 2. We have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old daughters. So yeah,
see,
that's how I'm
they met and fell in love at a metal show. That's awesome.
I won that prize because my wife is way smarter than I am. She speaks like 5 languages. She's a surgeon. I'm a fucking bozo doing podcasts and playing in heavy metal bands. But
that's all right.
Yeah, she's 10 years younger too. So
nice. Let's wrap up with the best division in the NFL.
Oh, Chris is waiting for this one.
The NFC North.
How did we wind up the NFC North last?
Oh, I know.
Because it's the best division. Lions, 15-2, won the division, won the NFC first seed in the NFC. Vikings, 14-3, made the playoffs. Packers, 11-6, and made the playoffs. And the Bears, 5-12, missed the playoffs. Tone, NFC North.
So this is a hard one, Chris, because I'll admit, just because of Chris, this is the kind of friend I am. I watch the Raiders every Sunday or Monday or Thursday, but there's another team I watch only because of someone I grew up with who let me live in his house when I was a loser back in the day, Mr. Chris.
I think you just described yourself as a loser now too.
I was, babe. I was living in my friend's houses back in the day. So Chris was a Vikings fan. Chris has always been a Vikings
fan. On you and went to Florida without you.
Yes, there was a kind of a sad story behind it, but you know, I remember playing football in Toms River East schoolyard in the snow, and Chris had his fucking purple hat on with his little ball on there.
Still have like
Bobby was the cheerleader. It was a fucking cool time.
So Bobby.
But I remember, you know, growing up, Chris has always loved the Vikings, and I root for the Vikings for Chris. Of course, a couple of years ago, the Raiders, it was like 2-1 the fucking game, and Chris was talking.
Oh, that was so bad.
The worst football game I've ever seen. Of course, Chris's team scored 2 points and mine scored 1. But I root for the Vikings for Chris. I watch the Vikings. So this is kind of tough for me. I do think Detroit's going to finish first again. I just think they have so many weapons on that team. I really like Goff. But I do think they have a brutal schedule, Detroit, so that can come into play. Vikings can very well finish first, but Vikings have a big question. And Chris, I do believe he could be successful, but until J.J. McCarthy finishes a full season, can't be sold right on that.
Right.
It's a lot different than Texas, but can he stay healthy? That's the question. I think the Vikings are going to be very good this year. They were very good last year. I mean, I was actually kind of shocked last year when they were winning all those fucking games over and over again. Green Bay, not a big Love fan. I don't think he's awful. I think they go third. And Chicago will be good eventually, but I think Chicago's still a few years away. So I'm going to go Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, Chicago.
So you think it's going to end exactly the way it ended last year?
I think, you know what problem that Minnesota has, and maybe I'm not correct because, I'm not a total Minnesota geek. I think your cornerbacks is a problem on that team a little bit.
Well, they definitely Byron Murphy Jr. is a stud. I mean, he had like 6 or 7 interceptions last year. He got the contract. At least one side is locked up. They brought in Isaiah Rodgers from Philadelphia last year, but he was only a spot guy in Philly. He wasn't a number one guy starter every snap. They're going to expect him to do that. The big kind of wild card in this whole thing, as far as the cornerbacks, is Jeff Okudah, who, if you remember, went like 3rd or 4th to Detroit like 4 years ago. And now he just never fit in anywhere. And now Minnesota has him. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So, Timmy, what do you got?
All right. You got Minnesota not winning a single game.
I can't hear you. All right. Oh, my God. You guys heard all that, huh? Sorry about that. You guys heard all that, didn't you?
No, we didn't actually.
Oh, okay. I was talking.
Well, you didn't hear what Chris, but Tim said about your Vikings.
Yeah, I don't see the Vikings winning a single game.
0-17.
Yeah, something like that. No, I'm just kidding. I think the Packers eke out this division. I think they and Minnesota are going to be pretty close, but I think they eke it out. I think Detroit's going to fall off a little bit. I think they just lost so much of their coaching staff. But that kind of happens when you're good. I could be totally wrong about that, but I think Detroit's solid. But I think, with emergence of Minnesota's going to be a little better. Packers going to be a little better. I think the Bears still have a lot of work to do. I think they have some decent pieces in place. So, yeah, I see Packers, Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago. I think this division sends 3 teams to the playoffs, though.
Well, they did last year, so it's a very good possibility. I'm going to go, look, Detroit is, I know they lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the OC and the DC. I think that's going to be an issue for them. I don't think it's as big of an issue as losing Ragnow, or what the hell's his name that got the center? Was it Ragnow? Or I think that was his name. That retired. That's a huge hole to fill. Jared Goff is a great quarterback, but he's a timing guy. Don't expect him to do anything if that pocket collapses. And without a strong center in there, I don't know how well he's going to be able to do the things he did the last couple of years. But because they have done it the last few years and just been a ridiculous high-flying offense, Aiden Hutchinson's healthy again. Their defense is going to be good. Detroit, I got winning the division only because until somebody supplants them, kind of how I was with Kansas City, I got to think that they're going to be right there. I am taking the Vikings second. Again, I do think that J.J. McCarthy, he might start out a little bit like, I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think they're going to give them some nice, easy bootlegs and screens and easy passes to complete. I see like maybe week 5, maybe after the bye, week 7, them really starting to open up the offense a little bit more. And I think they can win enough games in the meantime because their defense is going to be top 2 or 3 in the league. That's this defense. I know your questions about the secondary, and they're legit. But the pass rush that this team has, I mean, you have Grenard, Van Ginkel, Hargrave, Allen, and Dallas Turner. Those are 5 guys that can just destroy quarterbacks. So hopefully you don't get too many shots downfield that you got to put your corners on an island. Brian Flores knows what he's doing. I like Minnesota second. I'm going to take Green Bay third. I'm kind of with you on Jordan Love. Like, this is the year. Either you're going to be an excellent quarterback and one of the top guys in the NFC, or you're going to be Kirk Cousins. Like, what are you? Yeah. And we need to see it. I love Matt LaFleur as a coach. Like, I think he's a hell of a play caller. I think Green Bay is very young still. I just think they're not as good. Their rosters just aren't as good as Minnesota's and Detroit's. Then there's Chicago. Everybody loves Chicago. I mean, they are the team of the winning the offseason. They are.
You like Williams?
Do I like Caleb Williams? I was not a fan of Caleb Williams coming out of college. I thought that he needed a lot of development just for the way he plays. He's very, he doesn't play in structure a lot. He's good when he's out of structure. So the question is, can you actually put him in an offense where he's got to stay back there, be a pocket passer, and deliver the ball? I don't think he sees the field well. I think that's a huge problem for him. He holds the ball way too long. He doesn't see the field well. I don't know if Ben Johnson's going to be able to fix that or not. I also think there's something missing as far as like his heart, being able to like have that like deep down, get on my fucking back, guys. We're going to win this game. I've seen this guy look like he's about to cry on the sidelines, and I don't know if that really translates well as a leader of the team. So I'm big on let's wait and see what Chicago does this year. I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Williams is exactly what he was last year again. So I got
a little breaking news.
Yeah, what's your breaking news?
Terry McLaurin, 3 years, $96 million.
It's about time.
Yeah,
about time they signed him. Good.
Yep.
So $33 million a year.
31
million? 32 million?
That's crazy, by the way.
Million.
Can you imagine?
That's what some of these quarterbacks make, and that's 70s.
What the quarterbacks make is crazy to me because it's just I hate the thing about the NFL. It's just like the next man up. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not as good as the guy that just got paid. You're going to get paid more just because it's your turn. Like, did Miami really have to pay Tua Tagovailoa $50 million?
I think I've said this before. One of the best jobs must be being an NFL quarterback's agent.
Oh my God!
Because you just approach the team, you're like, "Well, that guy just made 50, so my guy makes 55, and then my next client's going to make 60, and then my next client's going to make 65."
Dak has 60, like that.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Dak makes $60 million a year. Dak Prescott. This is a great one. Tony's parents left him in a cardboard box outside of Chris's house.
I wish they left me in a box. I was no box even. I was just fucking. Actually, you remember we went to North Carolina. Actually, we went surfing in North Carolina, and I came back and everybody was gone.
Yep, that was fun.
The stories are not good, man. I know.
Well, there seems like some unresolved trauma that we should probably not talk about.
And Jay Snow, Europe is awesome, man. Fucking, I gotta say, dude, it is definitely. Especially, I didn't know what Lithuania was besides Zubris from the Devils and stuff like that before I came here, but or Kasperitis, but Lithuania is absolutely beautiful.
Well, guys, we are going to wrap this first episode of the football shit show, Uncle Pucker shit show. I think that's what we're going to call it.
Pucker's weekly shit show.
Sounds good. Are we abandoning Uncle Punters?
Yeah, we'll just keep it under the Uncle Puckers thing.
We cover baseball, maybe whatever we want, kind of.
Yeah, we're going to just come on every Tuesday around 10 o'clock in the morning live and just talk football. Next week, we'll pick all the games and we'll You just do that throughout the entire year. So we'll be back at 4:00 this afternoon with a
Snow. You coming out there? And Steven, you going to come out there tonight?
Yeah, I hope to see you guys this afternoon. We're going to talk some Devils. We have some fun games to play and stuff like that. Also, don't forget about the Uncle Pucker Survival Pool. You can get all the information on our Blue Sky and X account. Just click it, fill it out, start a team. It's free. Winner gets a little Uncle Pucker gift basket, and Tim apparently is coming to your house in an apron and nothing else, and he's going to cook you stir fry, and you're going to watch all 10 Fast and Furious movies.
I look great in shorts.
And if there's enough time, he's even going to put the one that The Rock made with Jason Statham. That's kind of a Fast and Furious, but not
Hobbs
really.
And Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. You guys will watch that too. So
I'm just kidding. We're going to watch disaster movies. It's my favorite genre of movie these days.
Ooh, we should talk about best disaster movie. That could be a good one.
That could be a good snake.
All right, boys, we're going to get the hell out of here. So we'll be back with an OG Uncle Pucker episode. Thanks so much for checking us out, and let us know what you guys actually think in the comment section about this show. Did you enjoy it? What can we do better? What can we do worse? I don't know if that's even a thing. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Chris,
the bars
Tony, Tim, we'll see you next time.
Later.
Nanu.